Welcome to Subramani. One favorite question among investors and especially among doctors, and this is the feedback I have from people selling to doctors, I am sure it is true for most investors, is when somebody is trying to give you a financial product, let's say it's an investment product, one question which people ask and invariably they ask is Kitna Milega? Right, that Kitna Milega seems to be a favorite Indian question because people ask that not only from investments but also in car showrooms, right? So you're buying a new car, the first question is Kitna Milega. For Indians it has become such a habit that even I think if they're buying a 4 crore, 5 crore kind of upper end car, they must be asking them, Isme Kitna Milega? The question is, in your car, which is a new fangled big car, the amount of petrol that you will lose in a week in evaporating, because in evaporation, assuming it's not standing under the, assuming it is standing under the sun or not standing under the sun, that itself is huge, right? So, coming to Kitna Milega in investment products, why do we ask this question? Simply because we have got used to asking this question. Most of the people who get the answer have no clue how to process it. So if I told you here is an equity fund, you will get 22% in this, you actually don't know how to process it. Your teeth fall off or your mouth is open and you're looking at it that way, but you have no clue whether 22 is right or wrong, or whether it should be 9%. You have no clue whether how to use that information. So first is to improve your ability to understand different asset classes will get different returns. So, and they will have different risk. So if I get 9% in PPF, right now it may be 7% in PPF, and I get 14% in equity, and in equity my risk is 2 compared to PPF 1. So it is 7 divided by 1 and 14 divided by 2, it is 7, right? So to the mathematician, it is largely risk adjusted return that he or she is talking about. The real return that you should be talking about is what is called real return. That is the return that you are getting minus inflation and minus taxation. So if you're getting 14% return in a fixed deposit, it looks very good. I mean, I'm just using these numbers for giving examples. But if inflation is 12%, then you're getting 14 minus 12, that is 2%. Or if there is say 30% tax, so what you're getting is 14% plus 70%, which is about 10.8%. 10.8 minus 13% of inflation, so you are getting a negative return. So what you have to really calculate is, what is my real return? What is the return that they tell me is called nominal returns? So that doesn't really matter, but what return do I actually get? So they had told me that it's a bank fixed deposit, I will get 10%, or say let's say 7%. So 7% is what I'm going to get, but in the country where inflation is 8% and taxation is 30%, your 2% is lost out of that 7 to taxation. So you're getting 5, and inflation is now much higher, right? So you're getting a negative return. That negative return should be the only thing which bothers you. Second, even assuming that I told you that you will get 28% return in equity and you end up getting say minus 5. Yes, what I said was wrong. I shouldn't have said 28, but I should have also said, well, equities fluctuate. So 1 year you may get 18% or 22%, and next year you could get minus 5%. So Kitna Milega is a very difficult question to answer for anybody, because kab chahiye, right? So if you have made investment in an equity fund and you say, oh, like 40 years I'm not going to touch it, what is the point in looking at the returns on a regular basis? You wanted that money to accumulate, you wanted that to happen. So kitna mila, kuch nahi mila, but that money is compounding, right? So it is a very complicated answer, but what happens is when the client asks a salesman kitna milega, he is assured of one thing. The next question is kahan sign karna hai, because you could give a very overwhelming answer for कितना मिलेगा, और you could give a very quick answer, हाँ सर इसमें 15% मिलेगा. So he is happy or she is happy with that number, simply because You didn't complicate the matter since कभी चाहिए ये रिटर्न, 3 साल में चाहिए, 30 साल में चाहिए, 15 साल में चाहिए. You didn't ask that question. You didn't ask कि प्री टैक्स चाहिए, पोस्ट टैक्स चाहिए, right? So if it is anywhere in the place, there will be some taxation. So you lose money to taxation, you lose money to inflation. All those things will continue to happen. So kitna milega after all this is removed, after the administration cost and the fund management cost is removed, after all that, what is available to you for spending or whatever else, that is the number that should worry you, not the question of kitna milega, because 99% of the people who are being interviewed have no clue ki kitna milega. So don't get into this trap of asking kitna milega without being able to process it. Once you process it, you realize that investment is a long term game. You have to do an SIP because you don't have the surplus. SIP can give you good returns, but you may also disturb the compounding. So if you don't do any of these things, any of these negative things, and you invested in 2022 for 33 years, so 2055 is when you are going to look at it, then you can start in terms of kitna milega. But again, there you will have very high standard deviation. So 1 year will be here, 1 year will be here. So all these fluctuations will happen. So the best answer to kitna milega is I also don't know. But equity there have been years when you've got 40% return, and there have been years when you've got minus 5%. So depending on where you're investing, how you're investing, how long you stay invested, whether you do good asset allocation, all these put together will decide how much returns you get, and can you afford to sit tight when things are going up and down, right? So all these questions together tell you kitna milega. Nobody knows it in advance. So you also don't know, I also don't know, RBI governor doesn't know, nobody knows kitna milega. So don't bother too much. But kitna मिलेगा, कैसा मिलेगा, कब मिलेगा, इन्फ्लेशन के बाद मिलेगा, टैक्स के बाद मिलेगा, those are questions which you have to be prepared with. Thank you.